as you progress in game, you will notice that you will be out of space in no time because you will need what we call gravlite panels. It's going to be a little bit, like challenging to acquire, but there's a way to save space just in case. So I'm going to show you my ship so far how it is. And as you can see here, this is how it is. I have like small rooms over here for one person, as you can see. I have here a medium kind of room for 2 beds. I'm going to put another bed over here as well, right? So like this. I can put another one here, but here I have a shelf instead, right? You can remove the shelf and put a bed instead. But here I have 2 beds, 2 beds. Here I have 3 beds. So here I have 3 beds for my little hospital. Of course, a lot of colonists may not be too happy about it, but the debuff is not too big. It's like a little -6 debuff, I think, mood debuff. And over here I have like a little bit bigger room for 3 beds. Now you're gonna say, isn't that like too many? Well, it is too many, but like I said, as you progress in game, you're going to be out of space, and if you don't have any room for your colonists, they're going to sleep on the ground, which is not that good. So it's better for them to sleep all together than to sleep on the ground, right? But of course, as you progress, you will get more gravlite when you do your quest. Then you will be able to have more, individual room for each colonist. So here, as you can see, I have my chem fuel power generator, and they're all stacked together. This, I can remove it. See this thing over here? I can remove it. I'm gonna put it like, well, not remove it, I'm just gonna relocate it like here. I'm gonna put it here. What happens is that when I move this away, I can put another chem fuel power generator over here, but now I can't because of the plant. Another thing over here, as you can see, I have 2 chem fuel power generator. They were not there before. What I did is like I actually click over here, this thing over here, and what I did is I built an additional like tile over here. I could do 2 more. Let me double check. No, I need 4 like this. Do I have 4? Oh, I have 4. Holy crap. So basically what happened is that by doing this, I can put another chem fuel generator over here technically. So I'm gonna show you in a few moments. All right, while we're waiting over here, as you can see, I have also a subcore encoder because I am building a basic subcore over here in order to make more mechs, but I have no more place to put the the station, right? So because I have no more place, what I do is I put it outside over here. I build a roof. So you come over here and you build a roof, right? Make sure that the weather doesn't touch it. And what happens is that when I'm done with this machine, I just uninstall it and they will put it back in a storage technically, because I only need this like once in a blue moon when I need to do more subcore for my mech, and that's it. So that's another way to save space if you're out of space, of course. As you can see, the place is very, very tight, so you have to make some concession, and you're gonna have to put stuff all together, unfortunately, until you have more space. So this is my fridge over here. Right now, I'm redoing the floor with steel tile right now. But as you can see over here, I don't know if you can see it, I have some shelves. So granite shelf, I have some shelf over here. I have one over here. So, and I have others on the side, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and so on and so on. So you can play with the way you want to relocate them or where you want to build them. And the reason is because this is kind of like my place, like my freezer technically, like to get a lot of meat, to make sure that my colonists get feeded and make sure that I can cook meals, in the long term, and in order to make kibbles as well, or pemmican, or anything else for that matter, for my animals, right? So this is why I need a bigger fridge to store more ingredients for cooking meals. As you can see here, this is only for meals, so this shelf is for meal, this shelf is for meals only. So you gotta make sure that you put only this, you kind of like strategically put something in one specific spot for what you need. So if you know you need a lot of meat, then you're gonna put only meat on these shelves, right? And same thing over here, I'm gonna have new shelf in the middle like this, which is fine, because so as long as they have some spot for them to deliver like the ingredient, it's fine. That's all it matters, even if you put them in the middle like I just did over here. And I'm showing you a few moments because right now they're still building. As you can see, for animals, I have animal beds pretty much everywhere, and I also have over here electric smithy. I know you're gonna say, what does that do there? Well, I have, like I said, I have no more place to put it anywhere. I could uninstall it, but it doesn't matter as long as the temperature over here is like 17 degrees, like 20 degrees is fine. So when you use it, it's gonna get a little bit hotter, which is why I have a cooler. Do I have a cooler? Yeah, I have a cooler over here, passive cooler, which will kind of balance the temperature for my animals so that they don't go crazy on the heat. But again, animals, they can go up to high temperature. Let me double check this one over here. So maximum comfortable temperature is 45 degrees, minimum is minus 35 degrees. So even even if I reach 40 degrees, it's fine. But again, because I'm an animal lover, I'm gonna make sure it's around 20 degrees. And That's kind of subjective, by the way. And that's that. A different every animals are different. Let me see the chicks. What about the chicks? I want to make sure these guys -10. Ooh, so yeah, these guys -10, and then max comfortable is 40 degrees. Okay, so these guys got to be careful not to let them out in the freezing temperature. All right. Over here, this is my hydroponics. As you can see, I have everything well done in a sense, but because of this guy, the graphene extender is not supposed to be here. But the thing is, I have no other place to put it because I need to extend, you know, my ship all the way to here, right? So this is like the only place I could find, but because of that, I cannot put another hydroponics. I am missing one hydroponic in exchange of having a graphene extender position over here. So, you know, but I'll be honest with you guys, like the amount of rice, because I'm making mostly like 95% rice. I get the rice over here. Oh, 1,300. What the heck? I did not even know. So now I'm getting too much rice. Well, I mean, too much. I mean, better too much than not enough, be honest with you. But again, you want to make sure that you have spot, you know, for your rice if you have too many. So what I'm going to do here, I'm just going to see something. So here on the is 39. Okay, this is 40 days. So this is going to last 40 days. So if I see that I don't use them all before 40 days, I'm gonna relocate them to the storage over here in the fridge, right? But I'm not gonna do it right now. Right now this is normal, and this one is preferred. And the reason I do this is because the rice is next to the cooking stove, so it's faster to cook. That's why I leave it there, and they last for 40 days, like you just saw over here. So it's up to 40 days, like 39 days, right? So by that time, it will be already used. And by that time, I'm going to be doing more rice in the future that will take over, right? So that's why I leave it there for now, but I'm going to keep an eye on it, make sure that the 40 days, make sure that they don't get spoiled over here, so they have to relocate them over here. Over here I have some shelf for the clothing, weapon. This is more for like items, textile. See, the thing about textile, guys, because I butcher a lot of animals, I have no more place to put my textile, my leather and everything. So what you can do in this situation, if you go in the world map, you can either destroy them, or you can sell them to someone. Like, see this guy over here? You can go over there and sell, you know, and then send a caravan in order to sell the extra textile that you have to make extra money. But again, you will need to go there, you know, and that's going to take some time. And, you know, you're going to have an escort, of course. So it's up to you what you want to do with the extra leather. Or you can wait for, you know, like a caravan of travelers to come over here, you know, and then sell that to them if they're gonna buy it. But that, again, it's RNG and you don't know when they're gonna show up, so you have the option to decide what you want to do. Or you can fly your ship up to the destination as well if you want to fly there. But me, I'm not going to do that because I need my fuel to go somewhere else to get some, to complete some quests, of course. Or you can throw them like in a specific place. Like you see, you can make a garbage storage over here and put all the leather you don't need over here, so that, you know, you get more space over here. But me, I'm going to keep them. I'm going to resell them. Same thing with the granite block over here. I don't know why I have so many granite blocks. I don't know how I got so many, because I kind of like limited the amount to 500, and apparently I have, like, how many do I have? I have 1,600. I don't know how I got 1,600, to be honest with you. So I'm gonna have to find a way to get rid of that, or leave in there and build something ASAP. I don't know, go figure. But they're taking too much spot, so you got to be careful with that and verify the limitation of the items or whatever things, mats you have on your shelf. As you can see, I have shelves pretty much everywhere. Like everywhere, whenever I see like an empty spot, I'm gonna put a shelf, right? Because, like I said, you need a lot of storage for, you know, for whatever you're doing, depending on your ship and depending on the resources that you need. Over here I have a mini storage for wood. See, over here I just put woods. So you want to have a spot for specific woods. The reason why I need woods over here is for my biofuel refinery over here. As you can see, I make chem fuel from wood. So whenever I come onto a map over here, I'm gonna chop all the trees around the area, and the trees will be hauled into the storage over here, and I'm gonna have a lot of trees, not the trees, logs, right? And then I'm gonna use them to get my chem fuel, because chem fuel is what I need to fuel my chem fuel power generator. As you can see, I have a lot of them. And how much chem fuel do I have? I have 3,300 chem fuels, which can last for a very long time. So you gotta, you know, put that in consideration. So you need the wood in order to make the chem fuel. And over here, as you can see, I have a chem fuel storage. As you can see, I can put some over here, but here I put some kibbles. Apparently, yeah, I have kibbles. I can remove the kibbles and put them somewhere else. Where do I put my I can put my kibbles. I can put my kibbles over here, but I will see. I will see what I'm gonna do. All right. Kibbles, actually, as you can see, I put them in my barn. So I have simple meal and I have kibbles. Now you're gonna ask me, why do I put both? Well, that's because when I'm out of kibbles, I know I have simple meal. When I'm out of simple meal, I know I have kibbles. So it really depends what you want to do. But for now, I have 500 kibbles. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stop giving them simple meal, because simple meal costs a lot of ingredients, right? So to be more efficient, you're gonna remove that. When you see you're out of kibbles, then you can, put the simple meal back here again. But for now, I'm gonna stick to kibbles. So same thing over here. I'm gonna remove the simple meal. Over here, you go to meal. There you go. So remove the simple meal. All right. So remove the simple meal, and they're only gonna get kibbles, right? So it depends on how many animals you have. Also, for the animals, I kind of butchered some animals that I didn't need. So I'm only keeping. Ooh, I got a lot of a saber cat. Nice, and I'm gonna keep that too. So I only have I kind of limit the amount of a chicken to 15, horse to 4, turkey to 4, alpaca to 4, but I have no more alpaca, so it doesn't matter. Turkey to 4, there you go. And boomalope, I have 4 males. So boomalope is important to only have males, because if you have a female, they will reproduce. You're gonna have a lot of boomalopes, and they're gonna feed on your kibbles, and you'll be out of kibbles. The saber cat over here, these guys are unique. These guys are more for quests. When I go do some quests, I have to kill some monsters, or I have to kill some mobs, or I have to kill some mechanoids. I'm gonna use my saber cat, my scimitar cat, sorry, in order to defend me when I go into doing some quests. That's why I keep them. I don't butcher them. I could eventually sell some of them if I have too many, but be honest with you, they've been sleeping over here the entire time, and I never had any issue with them so far. And also I have a zone for them, so if I click over here, and if you click this and you go to, I call them elephant, but I mean elephant doesn't matter. You can call it saber cat if you want to, and this is where they can go. So you want to create a zone wherever you want them to go. The other thing you need to understand, whenever you leave the map, see this area over here will disappear. This will not be relevant anymore, because when you leave the map, the only place that will be relevant is inside the ship, which is why once you go to a new map, you're gonna have to redo a new location for them. If you want them to go outside or not, it's up to you. I actually keep them, like I said, for defense and, for quests, in order to defend me or attack some mobs that are stronger than me, you know what I mean? So if I need the manpower, then they're going to be there to help me. And as you can see, I'm giving them all a name. So this guy, I'm going to call him, what am I calling? What's his, it's a male. All right, I'm going to call him, DJ Flash. I don't know why, but why not? What about this guy? It's a male, or I'm going to call him DJ Combo. What about this guy? It's a male again. Okay, so training, I'm gonna call him DJ Kumbaya. There we go. There we go. So I'm gonna yeah, I'm just bugging around, but this guy, I call him Ken. So this one is Ken, this is Cindy, this is Judy, this is Dart Razor, the father. He's the father of all Dart Razor. Mariana is a daughter. And the mother is Vanessa. Now, one thing I need to explain to you, and by the way, the reason is Vanessa, if you look at her health, she got beaten very hard by an animal, and she lost her jaws, she lost her kidney. I was about to euthanize her, but I said, you know what, I want to keep her because I'm an animal lover and I really love, animals. So I don't want to kill her. I don't want to euthanize her. I want to keep her as long as she can live. And I decided to find a male in order for her to procreate babies, so that if she dies, if she ever dies one day, she's gonna have babies, who will take over. Like I say, guys, I'm very sensitive to animals, so yeah. That's kind of crazy, but that's the way it is. So yeah, so Vanessa, I'm gonna keep her. She's the mother, and Dart Razor is the father. Yeah, you like the name? I know you do like the name. As you can see here, he's done with the, let me see, is he done? Oh, he's not done? What? Okay, he's done with one. When he's done with this, I'm gonna put this back inside. I also have turret autocannon. So autocannon, if you go to research over here. So over here, autocannon. So you need microelectronic, precision rifling, multi-barrel weapons, and then autocannon. Of course, you can go up to uranium slug turret and whatever later on, but I have autocannon turret right now. And as you can see, I put one on pretty much each side of my ship. So over here, I have one. You see the play is very long range. And the reason why I do this, by the way, is I don't know, if I get attacked by something, well, this will be there to assist me. Another thing is that it costs 150 watt each, so you gotta make sure you have the energy for that. Over here, as you can see, I have grid excess of 1745 watt, which is perfectly fine. So I can put even more turret, but the problem is that I don't have any more gravlite panel, because the thing is you need to have a substructure over here. So if you don't have any substructure, you cannot put them where you want them to put them. So that's why I cannot put more autocannon right now. But like I said, guys, when you have more gravlite panel, you're gonna be able to, make your ship bigger, and you're gonna be able to have more single room for each of them, so they don't get a debuff. So let me see if they have a debuff. The debuff is called Dull Barak. Cabin fever? No. Oh, this one, mediocre Barak. I had to sleep in a mediocre barack with other people. So this is the one, so -4. So it's not the end of the world, guys. And because I have lavish meal and I have other stuff that makes them happy, this is nothing. That's why it doesn't matter, right? What else? Also, make sure if you have a small thruster that you don't build anything behind it. Otherwise, it's not gonna work. So you have small thruster. Make sure there's nothing that blocking the small thruster. Exit over here. When you make an exit, make sure you have a vac barrier, like a space to make a vac barrier just before you put a door, because if you go in space and if you don't have this, the vac barrier, even if you have the the pump, the oxygen pump over here, I don't know if you can see it, but I cannot click it. Even if you have an oxygen pump, I mean, it's good to have a vac barrier to confirm, to guarantee that you're not gonna have any issue in space, right? That's why I have a vac barrier for pretty much every door that I have that goes outside. As you can see here, I have one. I have one even for my barn. But my barn, when they go in space, I block this. Make sure nobody leaves the barn. So yeah, you got to block this. You don't want any animals to get out when you go in space. So I have one over here, one over here, one over here. You know what I mean? So yeah, be careful with that. So everything else, again, it depends on your ship and how far you are in game. So if you have no more space, like see this guy over here, I can actually uninstall it and put it somewhere in the storage so that you can put whatever else you want to put. So this is my storage over here for my animals, my butchering animals. There you go. So you need to have a spot, otherwise, otherwise you have no spot, right? This is my space for waste. So if I come over here and click waste, as you can see, I have toxic waste. So this is where I put my toxic waste pack if I don't have any more space. But whenever I land on the map, I always create a little spot over here for my toxic waste. So as you can see, this is where they put it, and I put it critical, like priority, so that it goes here first. If there's no more space over here, then of course they can bring it over here where it's like cold, and this is my freezer, so it will never dissolve. However, when you go in space, and space is -75 outside, you can put like a storage outside in space, and it's gonna be fine. You don't need to put a roof or anything, because in space nobody cares. So you can put all the toxic waste pack outside in space. But right now I am not in space, I am on Earth, so I cannot do that. I have to put it in a place like in a place where it's closed, right, so that it doesn't dissolve. But how long does it take? Let me double check. So it's 16 days. There we go. So it's going to dissolve in 16 days, but I'll be out of here in 16 days anyway. Another thing, when I land on any map, whenever I land on any map, the first thing I'm going to do, because by default, this door over here is going to be closed, right? You got to make sure you close the door whenever you leave the map. Why? Because if you don't, and if you don't build like a pen, what happens is that the animals, they will leave the barn, and they're gonna wander all around the map. That's why every time you go to another map, always close the door over here and just let them there. And the best time to do that is when they sleep. When they sleep, close the door, make sure they don't have access. Then you leave to a new map, and when you land, the first thing you're gonna do is to build a pen, right? You're gonna have to. Right, so you're gonna build an enclosed pen like this, and then you're gonna do the the thing over here, and then you're gonna make a wooden pen marker, right? And then when you see this is green, everything is fine, then you can unblock the door, and then they can leave. This is the first thing you need to do so that they can go graze in a certain area, if there's something to graze, of course. If there's nothing to graze, then you don't have to make a big pen. You can make a small pen like this, and then I would make the marker in here. Why? Well, it's only if you want your animal to get out. But this is only like on the map where it's like there's no grass and where it's frozen or whatever. But it's up to you how big you want to do the pen enclosure, right? So here I made it bigger because like there's like grass, which is fine. But if there's no grass, then I don't need to make a big pen unless you want to. But they would still have no food, right? So that's why it's kind of useless to bring them outside. And I would just leave them inside or make a little pen like this, and then I will allow them to get out. But I mean, it's up. So this is really subjective to you technically. Another thing also, make sure that your animals don't go everywhere around the base. So you're gonna make this thing over here, you're gonna create an area and you're gonna make sure, me I call it elephant, but you know what, I'm gonna call it something else. I'm gonna call it saber cat. Or you know what, I'm gonna call it big animals. Alright, I'm gonna remove this. Alright, so I have big animals, right? So now if I go over here, alright, there you go. So big animals, there you go. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. The raccoon over here, as you can see, I always leave them unrestricted, and the reason is because raccoon, they forage. Raccoon, when they go around the map, they can find berries for free. So you want to make sure that your raccoons, they are unrestricted all the time. If you have a lot of raccoons, then it's good as well, because then you get free berries, you know, for free technically. So this is how I make my ship efficient when it comes to, you know, like saving space and everything. You can even do some storage over here in the pilot room, right? So you can do that. You can make storage over here, right? Over here, I usually put other stuff, as you can see, right? So you can make storage pretty much everywhere. It's just that if they walk around here, that your colonists will be slowed down whenever there's stuff like in, you know, in the aisle, right? So you gotta bear that in mind. Another thing also, as you can see over here, I have chem fuel shelf. So this is only for chem fuels, as you can see. Another thing to consider is the oxygen pump over here. As you can see, I have a lot of oxygen pump in every room. You want to double click it so that when you are on land, you highlight all of them, and then you gotta make sure that it's off. Make sure it's off for all of them, because you don't need it when you are on the ground and you're just, you know, like consuming energy for nothing. But once you go like in space, then you can toggle it on so that, you know, before you go to space, you want to do this, right? So it can consume from 15 watts to 150 watt, depending, you know, like in space, because as you can see over here, I have 1, 2, and 3 pumps. Now you're gonna say, why do I put so many? Because the last time I went in space, I only had 1, and my animals started to die, despite the fact that everything was properly enclosed. So that's why now I have 3, just to be sure. I think I'm going overkill, but I just don't want my animals to die, because I love my animals, and some of them I keep them for butchering and for chem fuel, of course, my boomalopes. So yeah, so so you want to make sure you have enough pump in your ship before you go to space. Only 1, like in small room like this, 1 is enough, as you can see. But in like larger room, you want to consider 2 or 3. Trust me on that, because like I said, people start to die at some point in space, and I did not realize it's because I didn't have enough pump, like oxygen pump, right? So you want to consider that, of course. And that's about it. Once you have enough mats to, you know, like make your ship bigger, then you can relocate some of your machinery elsewhere so it looks better, of course. Also, another way to hunt animals if you have issues. So you see I'm hunting this Trumbo, and this guy cannot kill him. So what you're going to do, you're going to draft him. When you draft him, you're going to bring him close to your, you know, within the vicinity of your autocannon, right? So watch what's going to happen. I'm going to remove this guy here, put him over here, right? And this guy is going to come over here. So watch carefully. Because the Trumbo over here, it's kind of hard to kill a little bit. Because of their body, I guess. But if you bring him close over here, bring this guy over here, bring another hunter over here. There you go. So you can hunt that way too, which is pretty cool. There you go. That's pretty cool. There you go. There you go. It's GG now. So now you can kill him, or you can do whatever you want. So basically, the autocannon can be very effective for hunting. If you have more autocannon, well, even better, I guess. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Here I have another Trumbo over here. So I'm gonna do it again. So I'm gonna draft this person, draft this guy here. There we go. Oh, double cannon. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Come on, come on. Oh my god, he's gonna die. Alright, I'm gonna have to... where's my bristle? This guy over here. Come on, get out, get out. There we go. Whew. What's his, did he... Okay, he's not too bad. Yeah, he doesn't walk fast because he's fat. So yeah. So yeah, that can help. So if I had more autocannon, that would have like helped. Like I see this one actually attacked when he was over here. Oh, there you go, guys. So my fridge is completed, and as you can see, I added new shelves over here, which allow for additional ingredients. Now there is some textile over here because I forgot to change the you know, the settings, so I allowed textile by mistake. So I'm trying to remove them, but I can't. So I'm gonna have to find a way to remove it. And over here I build some extra space to build additional 3 power chem fuel. As you can see, 2 of them I'm not using right now because I have too much. So actually now I could even disable this one over here, you know, to save on chem fuel technically. So as long as I have at least 1,000 grid access is fine. So once you get 1,000 it's fine. More than that you're just wasting. Now I'm gonna say, why do I do so many chem fuel power generated? Because when I go into space, all the vacuum oxygen over here, the oxygen pump are going to consume up to 150 watt, and I have a lot of them in my ship, like I showed you before, and all of them are going to consume a lot of energy. That's why I have 3. Actually, yeah, that's why I have 3 extra chem fuel power generator in reserve when I go into space, when I activate the oxygen pump. Same thing with the vac barrier, which will consume some energy, right? So right now it says 5 watt. That's because I am not in space, but when you are in space it's going to consume more energy. That's why you have to be careful with that. Alright guys, so now I'm going to go to space, and as you can see I have 1.4k grid access for energy. So because I have 3 of them that is turned off, right? So I'm gonna turn it on in a few moments, and I'm gonna have to bring all my animals inside. I'm gonna wait for nighttime when they go to sleep so that we can go out. It will be easier if they go to sleep technically. Alright, so now it's nighttime. Alright, now I'm gonna bring my animals inside. For those that let me see, this one, barn. Okay, who else? Big animals. This one, barn. Also my mech, all my mech, put them inside like this, inside the ship. So that means they're all gonna come inside the ship because I made a zone for them to go there. Alright, now everybody's sleeping now. Alright, let's get in, let's get out, I mean. Here we go. Wait. Ah shit, doesn't work. I have to bring, you gotta cancel that. Yeah, gotta cancel because I have to bring this guy to the recharger. Oh no, chicks are going outside. Son of a gun. Ah, too late. Like, I can't wait. Like, I have to leave, so too bad for them. No, but seriously guys, like, why? You're supposed to sleep. The F, bro. These chicks don't sleep. Oh my god, what am I gonna do? The other thing is to bring them inside like this with this. I could do that. Let me see. Allow all. Then I'm gonna take this, and this one's gonna be clear all. So what happens? Somebody's gonna bring them inside. Let me see. Alright, let's try that. Oh shit! Goddamn chick! Oh my god, she's so slow. Like, I feel like she's walking on water or something. What the hell? What is this? Simtar Cat 2. Wait. What are you? This guy here. You're not supposed to get out. Oh, shit. Wait. See, that's one thing I forgot to do. So here, press L. Big animal. So yeah, you have to do this as well all the time. I forgot I've done that. There we go. So that's my mistake. I swear to God, I'm gonna leave you there if you don't come back in the ship. Oh my God, what the F? They're not listening. Oh my God, this is a pain in the ass, bro. I hate when they don't listen. What if I do this? Okay, there we go. They're going back in. Okay, I opened the door. There we go. Are they back in now? Good. Now I will block the door. There we go. Whew. Okay, yes, that's the thing. That's the thing. When it's nighttime, when they're sleeping, you have to block all the exit, or it's GG pretty much. Now that everybody's ready, I can unblock this. Right. So the chick is okay. The chick's gonna be in my ship, and I'm gonna go over here. Click this. Let's go. So yeah. So this is like a perfect example of what happened if you don't close a door when it's nighttime. So you have to pay attention to that. Also, the other thing is I'm going to activate this. I need to activate these chem fuel power generator, and also, oh no, it doesn't work. Not gonna work. I need to cancel this. Reason is I need to activate all my oxygen pump. So before you go to space, make sure you activate this. If you don't, you're gonna be GG'd in space pretty much. There we go. So I'm gonna activate this and activate this over here. So let's see who's going to do it. There we go. So now I have 4K grid access. What about the lamp? Lamp is working. Fine, that's good. Everybody's good. No, still missing some over here. There we go. Gotta make sure that every oxygen pump are working. Closing all the exit. Don't want nobody to get out of here. Nobody get out of here. 15 watts, so it's only consuming 15 watt, but in space I think it's gonna be 50 watts each. So yeah, you gotta be careful with that. What about hospital? It's good. Everything is good. Oh, missing over here. This one over here. Wait, nobody's coming to... Nobody's coming to activate the thing. Oxygen pump. Activate, guys, somebody. Okay, there's a problem with the oxygen pump over here. So I'm gonna reinstall it somewhere else, maybe over here. There's a problem with the oxygen pump for some reason. Is it because of the egg thingy? It's working here. There we go. Now it's working. There was an issue over here. I don't know why. Alright, now everybody's fine. Let's go now. Let's go for real. Gotta make sure everything is perfect, because if you go in space, you're gonna be GG'd pretty much. So I'm gonna go here, next, confirm. Oh, a lot of rice. Yeah, but I have too much rice anyway, so it's fine. So yeah, as long as you have a little spot over here, that's fine. You need to have an exit. Alright, see now before you pause this, right, and then you're gonna see the vacuum. At the bottom left it says vacuum 0%. That's what you're looking for. It has to say 0% every room. 0%, that's fine. To confirm, oxygen pump needed. Okay, that's good. Low, it's fine. Low. Now you're gonna say, why do I have 3? Well, like I said before, last time I came here I only had 1, and my animals started to die because I needed more oxygen pump, and I only had 1, so now I have 3 to make sure they don't die, right? And again, it's only like temporarily, so it's fine. And if you look over here, I have 2K power energy in grid access, so it's fine. Go to every room and double check. 0%, vacuum 0, 0, 0. You gotta double check that, or they can die right away. 0, okay, 0, okay, 0, okay, that's fine. 0 over here, it's fine. 0 here, 0, 0. What about here? Yep. Yeah, everywhere, the entire ship, it's at 0% vacuum. That is fantastic. That's exactly what you want, guy. Now that everything is fine, then you can do what you need to do in order to do your quest. But I just wanted to show you this, guys, in order to be efficient in your gameplay, if you want to succeed and move forward. And make sure you keep this closed, the barn and the other door. Otherwise they're gonna jump out of space and they're gonna die. One last thing I forgot to mention is rearming the autocannon. So as you can see, you have ammo over here. So basically when you're low on ammo, or if you want to recharge, all you have to do is to left click a pawn and then right click over here and then prioritize rearming autocannon, so that your pawn will get some steel. So technically he's hauling 66 steel to the autocannon turret. So, you know, in order to rearm it, as you can see, it's at 57 out of 90. So now it's going to be 90 out of 90 in a few seconds. There we go. So now it's 90 out of 90. So yeah, you need to rearm them, you know, if you want to. But that's how it works. And yeah, guys, hope that this helped you. If it does, please like and sub, and thanks for watching. Cheers.